Without a doubt, Madonna is one of the most revered artists on the planet. And it's hard to believe that it is now 2 decades since she was written off as a one-hit wonder. Now, with the success of her latest album, there's no indication that she's about to slow down at any time soon. Hey, what a woman, and one of my favourite interviews. Here it is, Confessions on the Dance Floor, Madonna. Well, Madonna, 21 years, believe it or not, since you and I did our first interview in New York.
It's amazing how much time has flown.
I know. But coming right up to now, Confessions on the Dance Floor. And I can say this unashamedly, it is a fantastic album.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Now, I know that with you and Stuart, I mean, you did it basically in London, in a very small studio, basically in his little studio. Was it in mind when you first started going over to Stuart's thing that you were going to do the album there?
I had nothing in mind when we first started working on the music. I didn't know if I was going to make a completely, 100% dance record. I didn't know if we were going to do it all in Stuart's. It's just it just evolved into that. We started working, we got a groove on, we liked the music, we tried working in other studios, it didn't feel right, and we just kept going back to his little treehouse.
Yeah.
So, it's just, our opinion was, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right, because, I mean, actually, Stuart came out to Australia for Good Vibrations.
That's right.
Last summer.
That's right.
And unbeknownst to any of us, we were getting a sneak preview.
Right.
Hung up.
That's right. And I remember because we worked on it, and then he went away to DJ in Australia, and then he came back and he's like, oh my God, the crowd went crazy. I said, I want to see, I wish I could have seen. He said, that's all right, I took a picture of it for you. And he did this little film on his camera. So right at this peak moment in the song.
Okay, now listen, going right back, I mean, just for a moment, if we go back to Burning Up, which was actually the interview I had with you back then, because I'd seen the video, and you challenged me when I said, oh, this will be a #1 in Australia, and you said, how long will it take? And I said 5 weeks, and...
How long did it take?
3. So there you go. But in Burning Up, the lyrics go, unlike the others, I'll do anything, I'm not the same, I have no shame.
I'm on fire.
You're on fire, yeah. Back then, were you ready to go for everything?
Yeah, I did feel pretty fearless, yeah.
Yeah?
But I still feel that way.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I felt like the world was my oyster, and the sky was the limit. I don't know where that came from, but that's just how it was in my head.
Well, and some of the things you dared to do, I remember being at the MTV Awards in New York, when you did Like a Virgin,
yes.
And you came off the cake, and I was sitting next to Tina Turner, and you were crawling over the stage, and she turned over and said, what on earth is that woman doing? I said, well, she's actually crawling on the stage at this moment, And I thought, maybe Madonna's not going to get away with this. And you did. Then Like a Prayer with the Black Jesus, and I thought, oh, I don't think she's going to get away with this, and you did. Where people said she won't cut it with Evita, and with Perseverance, I know that you persevered for years to get the role. You did, and you won a Golden Globe. You even had to go at the Pope in Rome, and I was there for that, and you got away with that. Have you always dared yourself?
Well, it's not so much that I dared myself, but I think I wanted to dare the establishment. I wanted to challenge the establishment, or authority, so to speak. You left out a lot of other stuff.
Oh, I know. I left out a hell of a lot.
Thank you.
I'm bringing it up. All right, now let's go to the album itself. Hung Up, which was the first single, has been a sensational hit. The very idea of sampling ABBA, with Gimme, Gimme, Gimme.
That was Stuart's idea.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Were you an ABBA fan?
Oh, God, yeah. I love ABBA. They're amazing. They have such an amazing track record of amazing music, yeah. If you're going to sample anybody, sample ABBA.
Well, Benny and Bjorn, very rarely let anyone do that,
This is true. They were, they were very clear with us that they didn't do it ever, and we did have to put on a bit of a song and dance for them. Yeah. But fortunately,
with a track like Sorry, when I first heard it, I thought, what is that riff? I know it from somewhere, And I thought, holy hell, I think it's the Jacksons' Can You Feel It, Or
that's what people say, but I don't hear it.
No? But it's a great song.
It must be in my own conscious somewhere, yeah.
But, tell us about Sorry. It's...
Well, I mean, who hasn't said or heard the line, "I've heard it all before," right?
Yeah.
Have you?
Many times.
Have you said it?
I've said it.
Have you heard it?
I've heard it when I say it, and I've heard it all before.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I wanted to write like the universal song about people apologizing. You know, everybody's been, and I've been on both sides of it too. I've said I'm sorry and have had people say, that's not good enough.
Right.
You know, and I've had people say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, and I've said, I've heard it all before. So I wanted to write a song that had that kind of duality, which was exploring.
Spiritual Others, which is more Maroda based.
Yep.
I Feel Love, Donna Summer, it's sort of, you know, and this is about love, you know. Were you a Maroda fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Giorgio Moroder, Chic, ABBA, Chironi. Those were like the main records we listened to before we started. We listened to a lot of Donna Summer, obviously, and that song is pretty much an homage to their collaboration. You know?
Now, there's a lot of personal things come into it within this album, and you reflect back, be on this case Maroda, reflect on your songs as well, right?
Yeah.
Now, American Life, the album, was a very political album, I say,
Yes.
you know, and
Which
maybe
means it irritated a lot of people.
Right.
Yes.
With I Love New York, it rocks. Not only does it make you dance, it absolutely grabs you, you know.
Yeah.
And you do have, I think, a little political thing when those should go to Texas. And,
Oh, well, you know, I had to get it in
bit of-
somewhere. Just
okay.
one little sentence.
but I mean, you obviously love New York.
I do. It's the place, it's the city that I have the deepest connection to in terms of the most amount of life-changing things happen to me there. Yeah.
Let It Will Be, or Let It Be. It's like as if you're telling a story to Lourdes or the children, you know?
My children.
Yeah. Then it
Well,
starts off.
it could be that I'm telling a song to the children, but I feel like I'm sharing it with old people, that I feel like I finally reached a moment in my life where I can really say what I think success and fame are all about. Yeah.
Forbidden Love.
Yes.
Love that song.
Thank you. It's about you and me.
Was it?
Yeah.
You never told me all these years. Damn.
Are we supposed to be together? You know, that kind of thing. 21 years it's lasted, though, right?
It has indeed.
That's what happened.
Even through Sean.
Yeah.
Although Sean did help me one time for a second interview.
Did he?
Yeah. When you were doing the interview and then Sean came for dinner. Wanted you to go for dinner and then he left and then you lost interest in the interview and thank God Sean said we can do it again. We did it at the Hemsley Palace, if you remember.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, for
Yes.
MTV. Jump has got a bit of a Vogue in it.
Vogue, yeah. It's
Yeah.
also that's an homage to Pet Shop Boys, bit of Philadelphia soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How High, I love it. Because in the lyrics you say, I mean, you dreamed about your name's up in lights. And everybody speaks your name, but it's not very nice, you know. You've had some shocking detractors, and of late, people like Elton John's outburst, and of late, again, or recently, Sharon Osbourne. Does it hurt you when they come out and do those sort of things?
It doesn't hurt me. I think it used to hurt me a lot before, because I used to take things that people said about me much more personally. But I realize now when people speak out against me or say something negative, that it's not really even me they're talking about. They're just having a bad day. And, you know, I know that when I say bad things about people, it's not really about the people I'm talking about. I try not to do it publicly because it's not very nice, but still, I don't take it personally. So what I think about when people say stuff like that is I just think, well, they're not very happy. So.
Well, Elton's outburst was at the Q Awards about lip syncing, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And then you were both at Live 8, and I thought, oh God, what's going to happen here? You know.
I never actually saw him.
No, he was on early, and you were on in the evening. Yeah? Oh, God. But I mean, you absolutely were the highlight. I mean, I'm not only saying it, a lot of people. I mean, were you nervous that day?
Yeah, I mean, the enormity of what I was about to do didn't really sink in until the day began, and I saw the park start filling up with people, and all the greats of rock and roll backstage, and you know the kind of media coverage it was getting, and then suddenly, I think a couple hours before I went on, it sort of hit me, and I went, oh my God. There's 200,000 people out there. How many millions of people are watching
I
it?
had to say there were more.
It was, it was an incredibly, what's the word when you it just makes you high. You know what I mean? Took me off my feet.
You did that performance. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Then you're ready to sort of really, start the promotion for Confessions on the Dance Floor, and bang, you have the horse accident. This time, I must say, with all the things I said before, you nailed, you did it, I thought, oh God, she may not recover from this.
Oh, God forbid. Say God forbid.
God forbid. but did you for a moment, when you're lying on the ground, think, oh my God, what have I done?
No.
No.
No, not when I was lying on the ground. I was in shock. I think a couple of days after, when the pain set in and when I went to the doctors and he told me how long it was going to take for me to heal, he said 16 weeks before you can do anything. Forget about dancing, forget about this. I'm like, but I have to shoot a video in 10 weeks. He's like, well, you're not going to. And I said, you watch me.
And you did.
Yeah, but it was
with painkillers and your hand, the whole thing.
It was
like
very
that.
painful, yeah.
Then you do the MTV Euro Awards, opened the show and absolutely slayed them again, Again, you must have been sort of in pain.
I wasn't by then. No, I was okay by then.
Well, it was sensational.
Thank you.
Okay, Isaac. It's different, but it works within this album because it's the perfect track listing of this album.
Yeah.
You can whack it on and it goes through very quickly and then you whack it on again,
Yeah.
Isaac, though, is different.
In what? In terms of tempo?
It's just,
or?
well, not in the tempo, but just
Right.
of the subject. And you think, how's this going to work? But it does.
I don't think it's, I think there's a lot of songs on it that are reflective, like Push or How High, and it's in that section of the record where I sort to go introspective. I would say from Isaac on. Well, How High, Isaac, and Push, and Like It or Not, those are the more introspective songs on the record.
I find it quite unique. You come out of Isaac into Push with more or less the Like a Prayer situation going on. And it's ironic, but that beautifully works,
Yeah. I actually wanted to do Isaac, it was, that lush orchestral kind of Middle Eastern feeling that I have in Frozen. I was trying to channel that while I was producing it.
Now, the final track is called Like It or Not.
Yeah.
And, well, I love you, and millions do, Do you challenge yourself now?
Do I challenge myself? Oh, I hope so.
Or question yourself? I mean, are you happy?
I question everything I do.
Yeah.
I always want to challenge myself by giving me, more new obstacles, new challenges. Okay, if I'm going to do another video, how can I make it a video that's no one's ever seen before?
Sure.
If I'm going to go on tour, how can I put on a show that doesn't repeat myself in any way? That's just my work. As a parent, having children is a challenge every day.
It sure is. How do you do it all and look so fit?
I have an incredible team of people around me. I have a lot of discipline. I don't sleep enough, and I love what I do. Okay,
2 final questions. The doco?
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing it?
Yeah, well, I want it to come out in Australia. Hopefully we're going to make a deal with you guys soon.
Which is my last question.
Yeah.
Now, I hounded you for years. When are you going to come to Australia? When are you going to come to Australia? And you always got that laugh,
Yes.
I have to ask the question, will you tour this in Australia sometime, maybe? And not a maybe.
Well, the thing is, what I don't want to be is not a person of my word.
Yeah.
I'll just say I would like to come to Australia. For me, it's always a question of how can I, travel around the world, get the biggest bang for my buck, go around the world as much as I can and squeeze it all into a summer vacation for my children.
Yeah.
So if you could do anything about squeezing the space between America and Australia, could you just push...
The kids would love Australia. They'd love to
they would.
Australia.
You know what? They would.
They would.
They would love Australia.
Barrier Reef,
There's
kangaroos.
no question. My kids would just live on the beach. And, yeah, you're right. You're right. Slap my hand.